You're listening to the NAMAD Sessions by Mia, live from the NAMAD Annual Membership Meeting 2025. All right, we're here at the NAMAD Sessions by Mia. I'm here with Tyler Raquet, President and COO of Mosaic Compliance Services. Thank you so much for giving us some time today.
Thank you, Paul. Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be back at NAMAD. Awesome event. And, just excited to get to talk to you for a few minutes.
And we're giving Jim a break.
Hey, look, Jim, this is supposed to be a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah,
I think. Jim,
nobody's watching.
We wouldn't be done with intros in 5 minutes with Jim.
No, because he would tell us about the Spanish Inquisition and how it ties back to barbecue, how it ties back to AI data and compliance.
Absolutely. I'm going to skip the Spanish Inquisition and
skip that
probably
part.
skip the barbecue as well.
Okay.
And we'll just talk about compliance. Everybody's favorite subject, right?
No,
compliance.
well, listen, I think that there is a compliance conversation that no one really understands the full weight of just yet, because all we hear about, and we're going to say it now, AI has been talked about in every single aisle of this convention hall, in every single session, every single interview. People are trying to wrestle with how is AI going to change what we're doing, and the consumer wants to use AI, so they're actually pushing for it. It's not a technology that dealers are pushing on consumers. It's a technology that consumers are diving into and uncovering day by day. The usage curve is going up. I don't know that we've really thought through, maybe this is why you're here.
This is what we're here for,
right?
Yeah.
What are some of the compliance issues with AI and data and privacy that maybe we haven't even thought of, as we're so excited to deploy these tools to serve the customer better?
Sure. Well, just like you said, the consumers are so excited about it. So you won't find a person here that hasn't used ChatGPT, right? Everybody's using it for all kinds of parts of their life. Well, then you have employees going into the dealership and using ChatGPT, which seems like a good idea. It makes me more efficient. I'm being more productive for the company. But what we don't like about that is individuals using unmanaged AI tools. So we want any tool that an employee is using at the dealership to be overseen by management at the dealership. If you're using Microsoft Word or Excel, the dealership has the ability to turn that off, see what data is going in and out of it.
Right, because there are all these compliance hooks in every tool that someone's using whenever data is being used or be put out or deal jack, anything.
Absolutely.
Right? There are all these exposures happening if it's unmanaged.
Yeah, exactly. And you could have employees putting NPI into these AI tools, and now you've bypassed all of your safeguards and put your dealership at risk, where there are solutions. Look out here. How many vendors out here are AI companies?
Yeah, so many.
There are so many. And
those who aren't will be in 6 months.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I was just having a conversation. 5 years ago, how many AI vendors were out here compared to today?
Yeah.
It's the largest percentage of vendors out at these shows. So we just want dealerships to be using tools that they have oversight and management of for their employees. We are not telling dealers not to use AI, just the opposite. Embrace it, help your business grow. But make sure we have a policy about what tools are acceptable and what tools aren't acceptable, and make sure that we have that oversight ability.
Give us the most common violators that you're seeing. Dealerships who are allowing their employees to do things, and you're like, wait a minute, you shouldn't be doing that, and here's why. What's the lowest hanging fruit that a dealership should be looking out for?
Putting customer information into ChatGPT and Claude and Grok.
What kind of customer information?
Even names, addresses, all that stuff. Any kind of NPI is covered by the FTC safeguards rule. That was the big deal a couple of years ago. And making sure that you have documentation from your service providers that they are protecting customer data the same way that you are. Well, you have no ability. What did we just see with ChatGPT? Sam Altman testifying in front of Congress saying that, once we have the data, we can kind of do whatever we want with it. And so as a dealer, you don't want to put yourself in that position. Use the tools that you can turn on and turn off, and you can turn employee access off. Employee uses ChatGPT, employee leaves dealership. All that history is saved in ChatGPT. Now they have another tool the fired employee has a tool they can go back in.
How do you regulate that? I mean, because I'm a dealership employee, and I might be uploading contracts, deal jackets, anything that's going to make me help draft an email, maybe. Right? As innocent as possible, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want to spend the time typing out drafting emails, so I'm going to upload some customer communication, some MPI, just so it can draft me an email. It's harmless, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to avoid letting them use personal accounts. ChatGPT even has an enterprise program where your IT team can manage it from the top. And again, you can turn that on or off for employees. And when employees leave, you can restrict access for them. Just like you would with any other technology tool that dealers have been using for decades.
And so is that an acceptable use of, because we use this in our company, the enterprise version, where the information uploaded is not used to train the model. it's supposedly secure. Who knows what it actually is, right?
Right.
Where's that data actually go?
It's a whole nother conversation.
I know.
Right.
But is that an acceptable use case if the dealer management has an enterprise account and they allow their people to use ChatGPT with MPI?
Absolutely. As long as we are overseeing what the employees are doing. And again, rule number one about anything you're doing in the dealership is have a policy over it. Whatever you're doing, have a formal policy, have employees sign off on that policy and train them on the policy. I mean, that's 101.
Is this what Jim would call manufacturing evidence?
Yes, this is what Jim would call manufacturing admissible evidence to make sure that we're protecting the dealership and the dealer principal. Yeah, even when he's not here, he's here, right? I've been with him for over a decade, so I can basically, recite all of the Gantharisms.
You hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling out.
Absolutely.
So, and again, for just so we're being very clear, the point is there's a policy in place, and it is shown that the dealership is making all reasonable efforts to enforce that policy. Therefore, if something does happen, number one, it does limit or probably reduce the instances of a violation. Number two, it shows anyone, if there is a problem, it shows that the dealership is making all reasonable efforts to uphold it.
That's exactly it. On the first point, every study you look at shows that training affects behavior. So if we train employees, we're going to have better outcomes. And then, yes, point number two is if something does go wrong, we can prove that this is an isolated incident and not part of the culture at the dealership.
Okay, so give me the 30 seconds. How do you help dealers with this kind of thing, aside from just giving them this great advice from your experience? How else do you help?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we have a AI training program.
Okay.
Where we have policy templates that will work with the dealerships, either in-house counsel or whatever level of legal team that they have, and craft it around what tools they're using, exactly how they're using those tools, and make sure that it actually fits the reality at that store. And then we'll deploy that policy to all their employees. We'll make sure it gets updated and changed when changes happen. As you see, dealers are signing new AI vendors up every day.
Sure
So
are.
It's something that we have to stay on top of.
Busy floor out there.
And then training. And then the other cool thing that we're doing is we're consulting with the dealers on these AI contracts, right? This is kind of another scary thing that I was just at NADC, the legal convention for attorneys representing dealers, and one of the things that they're banging the drum on is you have to make sure that you understand what the terms in your AI vendors' contracts are. Are they using your data, feeding their model to improve it, and then selling their service to your competitor down the street?
No.
So this is another really tough part for dealers, and it's kind of the great unknown right now. As you started by saying, the consumers are the ones pushing AI. We all love these AI tools, but we have to be trepidatious and make sure that we're not actually competing against ourselves in a race to have the shiny new thing.
Yeah, I think a very timely warning and a little bit of a wake-up call to some of the dealers who are very tech advanced and want to use these tools to develop their business and want their people to get better and faster, more efficient, but maybe haven't thought through it all the way. Tyler, thank you so much, as always, for sharing your expertise with us. And Jim, even though you couldn't be here, you were with us in spirit.
Always, Jim.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks so much, Paul.
Thank you for listening to this NAMAD session brought to you by Mia. At More Than Cars, we're obsessed with uniting people around one big idea, that thriving people are the only path to a thriving and profitable industry. And if that resonates with you, head over to morethancars.com to join our email list and check out our full list of podcasts and programming.